It's official, Battlefield 2042 is getting a Season 6, and I'm actually surprised, but pleasantly surprised. I've been saying if DICE were planning a Season 6 that they would likely announce it before Season 5 drops, but they really waited until about 1.5 days before Season 5 dropped to actually make this announcement. So I was definitely starting to have my doubts. Yesterday, DICE made a social media post that stated, Season 5 New Dawn launches on Wednesday, and your Battlefield 2042 journey will continue with Season 6. Battlefield Community Manager Total FPS followed it up with 2042 Season 6 is underway with more details at a later time. So it doesn't sound like we're going to be getting Season 6 details anytime soon. We have a 3-month seasonal window which starts tomorrow, so at some point over the next 3 months, DICE will share those details with us. Now, to be honest, regarding this whole announcement, I'm not so sure surprised accurately describes my reaction. I'm more on the stunned side. I keep feeling like if DICE knows that they're going to support this game further, then they should be announcing all of their plans ASAP, or at least the plans for the rest of the year. Like if there was a full second year's worth of content planned, it would make sense to announce it alongside, say, a year 2 seasonal pass deal or something like that. The strategy of keeping players guessing, or in my case assuming that there isn't anything more left, doesn't seem like the best strategy. And again, it keeps me wondering if that's due to DICE themselves not knowing what their plans are beyond, say, the next 4 to 5 months. It's just hard for me to wrap my head around what's going on over there. And again, I don't want to sound disappointed by the Season 6 announcement. It's honestly great news. It's just news that I think should have been delivered earlier if they had planned this for a while. And it certainly left me scratching my head as to what exactly is going on over at EA as they work on 3 different pillars of upcoming Battlefield games while they also work on 2042. Seems like they're juggling a lot, and I'm always wondering if the support for 2042 is just hanging by a thread. Anyway, let's dive into these juicy Season 6 details that were revealed. Just kidding. We literally know nothing about Season 6. There isn't even any logo artwork that would hint at some sort of theme or anything. Wait a minute.
Enhance.
The background of the social media post has stars in it. I think the next season is in space. I figured it out, guys. Battlefield in space confirmed. Kidding aside, despite DICE giving us no details about what's coming, we should assume that there will not be any new specialists, as DICE has more or less made it clear that that phase of the game development is over and they're happy with the current specialist lineup. And we also know that there won't be any more base game map reworks, as the Hourglass update will be dropping later in Season 5, completing the final map rework. It's not to say that there couldn't be map updates, but overhauls is no longer really a possibility. Now, personally, I like the upcoming Season 5 content, but it is light on content, even if you include the Hourglass rework. 3 new-ish weapons, really 1 new weapon and 2 weapons that we've seen many times before, some grenades, no new vehicle, 1 map, and some quality of life changes to vehicles and squad management. It's low quantity content even for Battlefield 2042, which has delivered the smallest amount of content in any modern Battlefield game since launch. That said, DICE has managed to make a smaller amount of map and weapon content go much further than I would have imagined. The game is in a very fun spot right now, and it's got a healthy player base. And that's thanks in part to a year's worth of updates and the season passes that have really elevated the experience, with a mid-season event that usually offers additional cosmetic unlocks. I think if anything, 2042 has taught DICE how to dial in their seasonal battle pass and cosmetic offerings, even if some of the cosmetics are a bit over the top. If any new feature is kept for the next Battlefield game, I hope it's at least the groundwork for how they implemented the Battle Pass system. So, will Season 6 mimic Season 5's content minus the map rework, or will the developers try to up their game a bit? One could assume that the team doing assuming Map Reworks, which no longer needs to do map reworks, shifted that effort over to new map development, they could potentially drop 2 new maps per season. The Season 5 map Reclaimed is noticeably smaller than most 2042 maps and kind of simpler in layout. And despite this, it's still a fun map and I have very little gripes with its design. And it has most of the Battlefield hallmarks that you might expect from, say, a Battlefield 3 or a Battlefield 4 DLC map. But also it seems like it could kind of be a trial map for seeing how players respond to this smaller style of map design. Don't forget, all of the 2042 base game maps were supposed to support 128 player combat, so their layouts were just massive by comparison, and after DICE backed down from that commitment, it kind of freed them up to pursue the smaller map layouts once again. Smaller maps usually mean less work for the devs as long as they're smart about it, so entirely possible to get multiple maps per season if they're scaling them down. Now, when it comes to future quality of life updates, it seems that DICE is actually taking another pass at some weapon balance mechanics. Some additional spread is being added to many guns this season, starting off with assault rifles. Spread has been a touchy subject for the Battlefield franchise, but 2042 has some pretty easy to use automatic weapons. Going back to older Battlefield games, and a lot more bursting was needed to maintain accuracy at range, where 2042 is more of a hold mouse button 1 type of deal. I'm curious to see how this spread update goes over with 2042. I certainly wouldn't mind seeing some more burst fire mechanics becoming the dominant way of engaging at further ranges. Certainly a critique of Battlefield 4 was that you had to burst fire pretty much all of the assault rifles and carbines to get clean kills at range, which made a lot of them feel similar in style, but it also set a higher skill ceiling for getting long range kills with automatic weapons, so I think in general it was better. Now, this spread addition could also be in response to try and balance the base game guns better against portal weapons. With all the new portal guns getting attachments and more of those on the way, I think DICE wants to see the portal weapons in rotation more. Players want to use competitive guns for the most part, not just nostalgic ones, so we'll see if they can achieve that. Overall though, I'm quite happy about this news. I just wish they were more transparent at DICE regarding what their plans are. Not announcing Season 7 and 8 with Season 6 makes me, and I would imagine others, feel like Season 6 is all that they have planned. This is a company that's built a reputation of mistrust over the years, thanks to a lot of botched launches and misleading advertising. So I'd imagine there's very little benefit of the doubt coming from veteran fans. Anyway, what do you guys think? Are you as surprised by the Season 6 announcement as I am? Let me know in the comments. And up next, watch this video to get prepped for Season 5, which is dropping tomorrow. I've got full coverage of all the new stuff, gameplay, and basically a review and my thoughts of the content. So check it out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.